We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Oh, wow! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com. And of course, most important, friends, SidescrollersPlus.com. Great to see everybody. Glad you're with us. We got a big day today. Lots to talk about, man. It's a busy day. Busy day with I'm really excited to talk about this story today. This Karl Jobst, Billy Mitchell thing. This is fascinating to me. Very intrigued by this. While Blabs, I guarantee, has no idea what's going on with this. Hello, Blabs.
I know nothing. Well, no, I purposely went in not knowing anything about this so I could have like a raw reaction because I don't know any of this stuff. I kept thinking Billy Mitchell was Billy Crystal for a good 5 minutes, and I was like, wait, wrong person. So yeah, I was like, what's the actor done now? But yeah. Anyway,
I love the idea that. Listen. I love the idea that you got Billy Mitchell and Billy Crystal mixed up.
I just kept thinking, like, the actor, like in that movie with what's her face's name? Dennis Quaid's ex-wife, Meg Ryan, yeah.
Yeah, where she has the fake orgasm at the table.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Billy Mitchell. I like Billy Crystal way more in City Slickers, personally.
I don't think I've seen that one, but yeah.
You would love it, Blabs. You would love Billy. You would love City Slickers.
What's the context?
Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll watch that in just a second. Okay. Because this is good stuff. First and foremost, we have the third member of our team today, Phoenix, joining us. Hello, Phoenix. Great to see you.
How are you doing? I hope you're ready for your subs to blow up because your boy Phoenix is here and my two-man army from my channel. We're coming.
Phoenix, the sub generator over here.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, hey, glad you're with us today. People we haven't done a show actually not in studio. This is kind of weird. It's the first time we're doing this like not in studio.
Yeah.
Well, usually Phoenix is backstage sometimes when he was here. So this is like a whole new thing.
It is. Well, that's actually a great transition, Blabs, because today actually is a whole new thing for Side Scrollers, as it is the first day of premiere week here on YouTube. You guys are tuning in over on YouTube. This is going to be a big one. All right, we got a lot going on. We have 2 new shows premiering this week. Can't wait to share them with you. Today we are bringing you Blabs Versus, which look, we did a live version of this like several years ago, and we thought it'd be better to bring it together. But this week we have 2 new premieres, Blabs Versus and Nerd Duel, 2 new shows today at 2:00 Central Time and Thursday at 2:00 Central Time. By the way, that time is probably going to move up because we're going to have premieres for these things. So, and I want to be able to raid this stream that you're in right now, this show. You won't even have to go anywhere. We're going to have once we end the stream, you're going to go straight into that page, just like an old Twitch stream, Twitch raid. So just hang out and you'll be able to watch the premiere of Blabs Versus. We're going to bump it up to the end of the show to make sure it lines up nice and pretty and everybody can watch it and you don't have to go anywhere. So Blabs Versus today, Blabs Versus Super Mario Brothers.
I'm feeling anxious already. I every once in a while I think back to that day when we were filming it, the Super Mario thing, and I'm still get like that
PTSD.
I kind of do. Yeah, like just like a very simple jump and it's like and dead and it's just come on. It's I'm still getting over it.
I actually have a 17-second trailer for today's episode. If you'd like me to share it right now.
Sure, yeah, let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Okay, here we go.
Can I go this way?
Oh, it's very low. I don't know why, but yeah.
Oh no!
You found the warp zone, Blabs!
What's the warp?
You found the secret.
Okay.
And you're missing it by going the wrong way. Okay.
Oh my!
The end.
My favorite thing is you go, "What's the warp zone?" God. So,
And then goes for 2. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. The PTSD is strong.
so today, immediately after the show today, if you're watching right now, you'll be able to watch that then. Looking forward to that.
Mhm.
So a little bit of background. Blabs Versus was supposed to be a plus show by itself. And then we made the decision to bring it over to YouTube. So there's going to be a lot of references in it to like, hey, this is a plus show. But we thought if we edit it down for everybody on YouTube, so you actually can watch the entire thing unedited on Plus. So that's awesome. So
Yeah.
you can definitely go check that out. Blaz, we should definitely pin that to the top of our feed over there on Plus, so everybody can find
It's
it.
not scheduled to be pinned
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
when
let's.
it premieres.
Well, then definitely bump that up a little bit to align with when it goes live over on YouTube. So, all right, big show today, guys. Once again, we have a lot to talk about, a lot of topics. We're talking the Minecraft movie. We got the Karl Jobst, whatever, versus Billy.
No one knows.
We got an update on the Dragon Age Veilguard director and where them are ending up. We got the full April Fool's Day rundown, all of them. Everything on the internet, we've compiled it, and we're going to get into that because it is April Fool's after all. So there's that. And by the way, I'd like to thank Valiant Renegade for his wonderful tweet at me just now. It came in congratulating me on retiring from the internet, which is good.
Well done.
Yes. Thank you for that.
I'm free. I mean, oh no.
Good luck. See you later.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yes. So thank you for that, Valiant, for announcing my retirement early, which is good. This would be the second time I've retired from video games. Don't make.
Oh god! He says I'm taking over the show solo. I'll bring Phoenix with me. It'll be fine.
Very nice of him to announce that.
And tank
Destroyed.
Good. So good luck with that, Blabs. Congratulations.
Thank
But-
you.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll see how that goes for you. All right. We do have a great show lined up, like I said. But as always, we like to start the show with today in video game history. So, Blabs, what do we have today, young lady?
Okay, so
Sorry, I got excited.
he's really excited for Goat Simulator. Anyway, Monster World IV was released in Japan in 1994. We have Mortal Kombat 3 releasing in 1995. And for those who played Goat Simulator, I am one of them. Happy Goat Simulator Day, released in 2014. Yay! Which, by the way, is a really weird game. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Mortal Kombat, great pick, obviously. Congratulations on that. That's in the arcade.
Thank you.
Which, Mortal Kombat 3, I think is like 1 and 2 are better than 3. I know a lot of people like 3, but for me, number 2 is like the quintessential Mortal Kombat.
3 didn't have much hype when it came out. It was all 2. And then 3 was just there. And I wonder if that's because like Virtual Fire, something was bigger around that time. Because I remember at the arcades, no one was really excited.
They added the combo codes at the bottom of the screen, where you could and that was a cool idea. It didn't really go anywhere. But without Mortal Kombat 3, you don't have animalities, you don't have brutalities. There's a lot of things. Mortal Kombat 3 gets lost in the shuffle. A lot less than Mortal Kombat 4. Mortal Kombat 4 is like the black sheep of the.
Well, that's when it went to 3D, right?
It did like the pseudo 3 thing. But if I was to power rank the classic Mortal Kombat games, it's Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3 from a gameplay perspective, but Mortal Kombat 1 from a impact, right?
Yeah, historical impact.
Yeah. So, but once again, my thing that I would love to see with Mortal Kombat is the idea of a remake, like an HD remake of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, a collection of that. That'd be killer.
Would you want it to be like that they AI digitize the actors better, or would you want them as 3D characters?
No, I think I'd want them as 2D sprites.
Yeah, okay, so upscale the sprites and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
I would love that.
I think that'd be very cool. Well, Blabs, a game that you missed today, released 32 years ago today. Now, look, we talk about video game product placement all the time. Back in the 90s, 7-Up was massive. right? There was Sprite and there was 7-Up. Oh, you see it. There it is. Look at that. We're about to talk about it. For the Genesis, Cool Spot.
Wow.
That's great. Yes, Cool Spot. Now, this is a lot of games back in that era when they had like mascots associated with them. They sucked. But Cool Spot is actually a really good game made by Virgin Interactive, I think it was. And I
Same
really,
people who made Aladdin.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
And you can tell actually from the gameplay of this. I was really into this. They had I played this game a lot as a kid. This is a game I actually owned, but really cool animation. You go around, collect all the dots. You're playing on a beach, and it was very difficult. You had to collect all the cool, and every time that Cool Spot got hit, his little face up here on the top, Blabs, got damaged, which was fun. So
He looks like a discount, like retarded Pac-Man.
Well, that is the lore. He is mentally handicapped. That is the lore.
yeah,
Craig just got so disappointed. Did you see his face? It was like,
he is compensating with those glasses, so he's trying to hide his eyes. But look, he does look kind of a little slow up here with so, anyways, great game from back in the 90s. What did I say? 30-something years ago today? I can't even believe that. 32 years ago in 1993. Jesus. Of course. D for the 3DO was released in 1995, but nobody bought that.
Except me.
except for
What?
feet.
Except me.
What? Okay.
He came
Yeah.
prepared. Did you go to GameFAQs this morning? You're like, what do I got?
Maybe.
Okay. Do you have Nobunaga's Ambition Rise to Power for the PlayStation 2?
Boy, do I. No, I don't have that. I do have VIP, though, and that is the true gem of this entire. This is it.
Wow.
Have you guys played this one?
No.
This is. Oh, you are missing out on it. It's maybe the worst game of all time with the worst sound. Like, it is just this one guitar loop of like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and it just keeps looping that for the entire 2 hours. It's a good game.
Okay. You
Yeah.
just know how bad it was.
I know. No, I'm saying that facetiously. It's the worst thing I've ever played.
Okay. Well, now we know. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Blabs. Appreciate your
I'm happy to help.
Good stuff. All right, we do have our Montez goal set up, ready to go today. So thank you guys very much for your support right off the bat. Raptor Kratos came in for the 10, says Craig is late again. So here's Montez. Oh, that's all it can take? Is it to be late for Montez?
I'm being like every day.
Starting a half hour late tomorrow.
Slowly watch that money trickle in, baby. Kirog says, hail, comrades. We join together again to fight the evil cisgender oppressors and rightfully give gaming to the blue-haired they-them masses. We will win how revolutions are always won with outrage. That's right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Craig, I think I think you're trying too hard with like really trying to build up this new company and everything like that. That, you know, I think it's just come in late and show credits on Twitter. That's it. You've funded your whole empire.
There's a lot of truth to that. There are some there is something to that for sure. Listener says, Blabs, not only are you fired, so is Craig. April Fools. Thanks, Mercenary. Appreciate the
It's now Phoenix's show.
there you go.
Oh, here we go. And plummeting.
Gear came in, says on the Opera GX April Fool's joke, it was actually an attempt to go beyond spineless by antagonizing Grummz since he got exposed last week. Get a grip and fire your Chinese VTuber spy, Opera. Well, we'll get to that in just a little bit as part of the April Fool's stuff. Scotty C says, hey, happy April Fool's Day, guys. So 14 years ago, my girlfriend, now wife, tricked me into thinking she was pregnant. We got 3 kids now, but she had me going. Wow, Scotty.
Wow. Okay.
But they're from another father. April Fools.
Right. Wow. Learn to wrap it up after that. Miku says, Billy Bros, we keep winning. Oh, man, it's going to be fun to talk about today. Mercenary says, no, wait, it's just Blabs for this day in gaming.
What's wrong with the today in gaming? I thought it was pretty good.
It's not bad. Give it up for Rivian and Texan Jones. Hey, guys, thank you so much for becoming Plus members over at SidescrollersPlus.com. Hey, use promo code April to get $30 off your membership this week only. It's only this week. You get $60 for the entire year. You support us. You get access to all the shows before, and you can watch Blabs versus Uncut, the entire thing, as well as all the other good stuff we have coming along the way. So please, please, please head over there, sidescrollersplus.com. You support all of us and all of our endeavors and all the crazy new stuff we have coming. Dwight, for one, says April Fool's Day is getting harder and harder to navigate when 90% of real news resembles satire. Thank you, Dwight. And Mary says, cool spot would be mentally bottle capped. There it is. Yes. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. I need to pull that up. There we go.
There it is.
Scrap Gamer says, don't forget Virgin Interactive also made the unreleased Thrill Kill. Oh, yeah, Thrill Kill. Yeah. Remember that. Sergey came in and says, Cool Spot had a bug on DOS that crashed the game. No patches back then. Yep. Get fucked. And Gears says, I have nothing for April Fools unless it's March 32nd. See, that's a joke because there's no such thing. And nothing can top my Pokemon box, Phoenix. There you go. Get fucked, Phoenix. All right. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. It is April Fool's Day, and I'll tell you what, we have a collection of April Fool's Days, both good and bad, which, you know, hey, everyone's always trying to get something over. For me, April Fool's Day.
You got it. There you go.
I'll get there.
Words are hard.
Really encompassed for me back in the early 90s. The best video game April Fool's Day joke for me, at least the most influential, was the Street Fighter 2 fight against what would essentially be Akuma later on, Shenlong. Do you recall this, Phoenix, from back in the EGM days?
No, that I don't recall. No.
Okay, so EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
But the magazine I remember totally. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to pull this up because this to me was like the greatest. I remember seeing this as a kid and I was like, whoa, I can't believe this is real. And the idea of like Photoshop, this is in April of 1992, where EGM published an April Fool's joke about a secret character named Shenlong. Now, why Shenlong? Because in Street Fighter 2, there was a mistranslation between the Japanese version of the game and the American version of the game that was supposed to be, you must defeat my dragon punch, is what Ryu was supposed to say in his victory pose or his victory speech or whatever. And instead, it got mistranslated to Shenlong, and people thought he was saying in it, you must defeat Shenlong to stand a chance. So people are like, oh, Shenlong must be a hidden character. Wow. So all right. So EGM went in and they made this art, and it was really, really cool. And they're tips of the trade. That this is a really bad. Oh, I need to find a better picture of this. But they essentially went in and told their entire audience that EGM, like, they found a way to do it, and the way to do it, I remember people trying this, and it was so ridiculous. I think you had to get through the game, perfect everybody, go. I think it was 10 rounds against M. Bison without getting hit, and then Shenlong would come in and throw M. Bison out of the screen, and you would fight Shenlong. And it was so stupid. My 10-year-old brain couldn't comprehend what was happening. I loved it. I thought it was.
Did you actually try and achieve that?
Well, of course, but you can't go like more than like 1 or 2 rounds without, you're perfect on everything. So yes, here's actually a high-res photo of this. There you go. Oh no, that's not a high-res photo. One more second. Hold on. This is so freaking good. I loved it. Let me pull this up because this to me was the quintessential April Fool's joke. So here it is. Fight Shenlong, I would say. And the person who sent this in, it was supposedly sent in, right? And you can see like the Photoshop here of Shenlong down here, this fake character, and you can see him coming in, throwing Bison off. So they like manipulated sprites, and I thought this was so good. So good. So anyways, On to today's April Fool's jokes. Well, do you guys have any April Fool's jokes that really resonated with you, that stuck with you in the video games or entertainment or whatever over the years?
I thought the best one, it wasn't funny or anything, but the best one I thought was the IGN making the Legend of Zelda movie. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah. That was
I mean, the production value in that, I mean, it really felt pretty legit.
Yeah. That's still pretty viral. I think every year they kind of pop it off. Right now it has 6.2 million views over on IGN. It was 16 years ago. And you can see it here. Blabs, do you have any, while we pull this up? This is the Legend of Zelda movie trailer that was produced by IGN.
Yeah,
Right?
I can't think of anything. To be
Nothing at
completely
all, huh?
honest. Well, I mean, like one of them we have today, which is basically a repeat of last year's that I thought was funny last year, but now that they're doing it every year, I'm like, oh, okay. It's not as funny anymore. But I've actually like tried to find like top 10 or like April Fool's Day pranks from history, and like one of them is the Great Spaghetti Harvest in 1957, the washing of lions in 1968, Big Ben goes digital in 1980. Does anyone hear of any of these things? I didn't think so. So yeah.
By the way, look at this. The full 3D animation and everything going on. This was incredibly high production value.
It's crazy that they were able to produce this. And back then, this is even more impressive when you consider how long ago it was.
Yeah, very much so. This is 2009, so 16 years ago, or April 1st, 2008. There you go. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So cool. Well, let's talk about some of the ones we had today. We have this from Universal Studios. Blabs, fire away. Let us know what's going on.
Right. So Universal Studios says Universal Destination and Experiences plans to open the first ever theme park in space. With out of this world attractions, there's no better time to hold space than at Universal Moon Resort. And the tie-in here is hold space because holding space, the Wicked PR, which was Universal Pictures, basically. So there's a little tie-in there. But yeah, they're trolling us saying that they're going to Universal Studios.
What? I'm sorry. Back up. What are you talking about?
Okay,
No
don't
one
you remember
knows.
the Wicked PR? The
What do
Wicked
you
PR, the movie, right?
Uh-huh,
And they're all like, I'm holding space with that. That really holds space with me. And then like the little claw nails were everywhere and they were crying their eyes out and holding space. That was it, holding space. So this is a tie-in also, but holding space means space.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a giant thing. Anyway, they've posted it on all over their platforms, including Instagram.
I had no idea what you're talking about. All right. Thank you.
I guess I just remember things. That's all.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Then we have this from Harry Potter, which apparently
They changed their Harry Potter account into like a Draco Malfoy Stan account every year, and it's just Draco Malfoy. So they did it last year, and it was kind of funny, but then it just becomes like, oh, you did it again. So, and they even sent like a giant newsletter too. Like if you were part of like the emails or whatever, I got it this morning. It was just Draco Malfoy stuff. That was all it was. And it was like, if you unsubscribe from this email, I'll tell my father. So, you know, little jokes like that. But yeah.
Isn't this a little weird? Like
a little bit.
How old is Draco Malfoy in the movie?
Between the ages of 11 and 17.
Okay. So a minor the entire time?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Just throwing it out there.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Then we have this from the Babylon Bee. CNN publishes real news story for Facebook.
Yeah.
And then apparently this is going on right now. There's an IGN feed of, I guess this is another adding more to the cast.
Yeah, so they have like Sydney Sweeney, Toxic Avenger, Hill John Cena listed in this video. It's a giant troll. It's kind of funny to be honest, because it's still going after an hour, right?
Good for them. I love that. We have X-Ray Girl.
Oh yeah.
Fulfilling every man's fantasy here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a boob job so I can be the same size as Sydney Sweeney. So congratulations to X-Ray Girl for that.
Congratulations to Mark the Cyborg.
And then we have this from Valiant Renegade announcing my retirement here, which is rough. Best wishes to Stuttering Craig as he retires from Side Scrollers Pod in his final show today to begin his new career as Brittany Griner's foot masseuse.
Nasty.
You know who Brittany Griner is?
Should I?
Oh,
She sounds really familiar.
Yes, Brittany Griner. Let me pull up Brittany Griner just so you know who
She's
this is.
quite a woman, Blabs. Quite a woman.
And
She
she'll let
sounds
you
really
know it.
familiar.
She'll let you know it too. She's Brittany Griner.
Is it tranny?
This is Brittany Griner.
Debatably.
Oh, her. Oh, debatable. Yes. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, it's there are a lot of questions about Brittany Griner, but there's
I
that.
can understand why.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's and there's videos of Brittany Griner like hanging out by the pool with Brittany Griner's shirt off, and Brittany Griner does not look like Brittany Griner has boobs at all, right? And
Damn, wow.
and Brittany Griner has a voice. Brittany Griner, yeah. I don't know. You know.
Wow.
So
It's no longer Britney, is it? It's like Bass.
You're going to get it. There you go.
Almost there. Good job. Well, you leave Brittany alone, Labs. You
Leave Britney alone.
And then we saw this one, which was quite interesting yesterday. And it jumped the gun here because April Fool's Day is on April 1st, right? So we saw this from Opera GX says we're currently developing a feature that'll remove any trace of Grummz from the web, which we saw this during our post show. This just got like popped up yesterday, like right as we finished our show. And we talked about it briefly. This was not presented as like an April Fool's joke initially, like at all. So, and especially with it coming beforehand, right? So my initial reaction was like kind of tasteless. The idea of like we're gonna more or less un-internet somebody, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously Blabs feels a certain way about Grummz. I feel a certain way about Grummz. Whatever, right? But if you remove Grummz out of the situation, right? Like take Phoenix. We're currently developing a feature that'll remove any trace of Phoenix from the web.
No one's really going to know about that.
But yes, and but the thing about this is, and the reason why it doesn't come off as a joke is because down here at the bottom, like they keep doubling and tripling down in responses to this, right?
Yeah, but like their responses, I have to say, are like pretty good burns. Like, hey, at least we got a product. Like that's a huge burn. But
Okay.
I don't agree with the whole concept, and I hope that people who are like cheering this on and saying, yeah, I mean, like, would you be okay with this if it was Alyssa Mercante, right? Kind of like you have to treat everyone equally. No one should be removed from the internet because you don't like that as a form of censorship. So, and even if it is a joke, it was poorly timed because hello, April Fool's is April 1st.
Well, that,
March 31st.
that and given everything that's gone on, in the past week or so, it's like, not the best timing at all to deliver.
No, and all it does, like I said yesterday in the post show, all it does is take actual criticism and actual stuff that people have a gripe with Grummz, and you just kind of muddy the water with that because it's like, oh, now all the haters are doing this. It's like, well, no, now you're ruining what the actual people have criticism and critiques for. So you're not for it.
Yeah, and there are certainly valid critiques, right, of him for sure, and reasons to be concerned and such, But by the way, that won't be clipped. Only me simping for him will be clipped. But like I said, we've had Grummz on the show, but regardless of if we had him on or not, like just the whole idea of it is pretty tasteless. And there's good jokes and there's bad jokes. I don't know if that one I don't think that regardless of if you put that in front of anybody, it's tasteful. But there are some people that are rooting it on. You go get them, guys. Go get them because, you don't think it's all about the ideology, right? Then we have this. This was not a joke here. This is interesting. As crypto scammers chose the wrong day to hijack Team Liquid's account. Thankfully, it appeared everyone assumed it was just an April Fool's joke. This is from the Team Liquid accounts, which is an esports group.
He's from the Netherlands.
Yeah, this isn't an April Fool's joke. Our main account was hacked. Please do not click anything here to repost it. Hey, everyone, this is an April Fool's joke. Our main account was hacked. Please do not click. So there you go. Everyone, this is not Team Liquid. Please do not interact, engage with it anymore. So they actually got hacked on April Fool's, which is probably not the best.
Not the best time. No.
Yes. So we'll definitely yikes. So there's that. So and there's your April Fool's Day roundup.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's more going to be happening because it's only just, the afternoon basically for most of the world. So we'll see probably some more throughout the day. But just honestly, don't believe anything on the internet today because, everyone's getting bamboozled left and right.
Only believe that Blabs Versus will premiere.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. That's it, because we've been promoting that for a long time. Hey, New York Giants fan came in with the 10, says, Dad joke of the day. Did you hear about the wig thief who escaped from prison? Police are combing the area to find him. Hey, bada boom, hey!
Bing, bada,
Hey, yada bada, beady boo. Bike Short says, I'm fooling for April's news. Gross, don't make that weird. Gear came in and says, Genshin Impact's payment, English voice actor tasting her own strike from the Chinese Blue Archive cosplayer went funny on. I don't even know what's happening. You're speaking.
No one knows. No one knows.
I can't read, and then you just put words over. Like, what are we doing here? Thank you, Gear, for your support. Mercenary says the EGM of Sonic and Tails in Smash. Oh yeah, and Smash Melee. That's right. I do recall that one. The Hylian Juggalo is back. Good to see you, buddy. He says game pitch. All the 90s game rumors are true. You play as a kid. Playing games. It's a puzzle game where you have to do drawn out things, relying on cryptic hints from your school friends. All right, super cryptic. That seems like a game nobody will want to buy. Sorry, Hylian Juggalo. Marius came in and says best April Fool's joke, even if it was late and not technically a joke, is still Diablo Immortal. Let's go. Kyle says, does anyone remember IGN's April Fool's joke in 2009 with Smash Brothers Brawl being gory? No, I do not, but that sounds awesome. And Saint says, remember when GamePro had Lame Pro? Yes, I do recall that. Thank you. Mercenary says, Razor warned me about Karl at his case. Worst part is Billy is a good speed runner. He has done live performances of world record times before. Seriously, Karl messed up big time. He may even be criminal in his actions. Lied for the money. Yeah, we'll get to that very, very shortly. Commodore fan says Google used to have some good April Fool's jokes, pranks like flushing your toilet for free internet, self-driving NASCARs, and YouTube upside down, etc. Thank you, Commodore fan. And Delta
do anything for April Fool's Day. I went to Google the homepage just to see if they had some type of animation or whatever. They have nothing.
Okay.
Boring.
And Delta says Opera GX is a very weird company because I only hear bad things about it periodically because they either tweet something batshit, force people to have Eric Andre scream on startup, or post 2010 memes and force them on users. Also, bloatware. Thank you, Delta. Appreciate that. All right. This is not coming on April Fool's Day. Coming tomorrow, we have the big announcement for the Switch 2. So I'll be doing a live stream. I'll be waking up early for this. Would anybody like to join me tomorrow morning to look at the Switch 2?
No, thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow morning, if I can remember. Tomorrow morning, April 2nd, 8 a.m. Central Time. So 3 hours before the show, you guys can watch my reaction to the Switch 2. I'm very excited for this. 60 minutes long. We'll obviously do a full recap on the show, but I do want to do a live reaction to it. So you can find us tomorrow morning. It's a pretty big day in the world of video games tomorrow. With anytime a new console's announced, and specifically for me with the Switch and a new console, maybe we'll get some games. Maybe we'll get some tech specs. Who knows? I think this is going to be pretty exciting.
Do you have any predictions for launch titles?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is actually a really good one. Mario Kart 9. I think it's a little too early. Maybe they'll announce a new Mario game. I think the biggest thing is they're going to announce features. And one of the launch features will be GameCube games, I think, potentially for the Nintendo Switch Online, and potentially DS games for Nintendo Switch Online. Because they are making a strong push for Nintendo Switch Online with that reoccurring membership revenue. Everything they do is tied to NSO. everything, whether it's Nintendo Today or Nintendo Music. You have to have an NSO account to have access to those things. So
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to see tomorrow for sure. And people talk about Metroid Prime 4 being cross-gen, 1,000
Guaranteed.
Yeah. I see in the chat Halo collection. I think that's a strong possibility. I mean, that'd be huge. So yeah, I guess we'll find out more tomorrow. Do you have any thoughts, Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, so I had always assumed the Metroid thing was going to be like that fit. I had predicted forever that was going to be the cross-gen title, and it was going to be a great showcase of showing you like, okay, we just showed you what it looks like on Switch. Now look at what this thing can look like with pre-existing games on your regular Switch. So I thought it was a really good way of showing you that. I do think they will reveal a glimmer of a new Mario game. I don't think Mario Kart will be a launch title because I think they need to get that user base in because it's going to be a big multiplayer hit. So I think they'll tease that. They'll show more of that. But I do think you're going to see a new something on Mario. I think you have to. That's like critical for a Switch launch. But I'm really excited because the Switch was, I think, arguably one of the greatest consoles of all time. It bangers for every single year that it came out, handheld or in console dock. Like it's arguably the best. I don't know where do you fall on that, Craig?
As far as it being one of the best consoles ever
yeah,
made?
like top 3. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and looking strictly from like video game console sales, it's going to break the record when it comes to total sales. Right now, it's behind
PlayStation 2
on Wikipedia. It is about 10 million behind the PlayStation 2. It's about 4 million behind the DS. And you can see it right here. Still active, still kicking ass. I'm kind of shocked that the PlayStation 4 sold that many. That's pretty damn good. Good for them.
Oh, yeah.
Sold more than the original PlayStation. Wow, that's crazy.
It's probably because nobody could afford the PlayStation 5 during COVID, so everyone just wants to get the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, you're probably right. Not bad.
I mean, not to discredit Sony on the PlayStation 4, but I feel like that definitely helped.
If you do the math on this, I think that by the time it's all said and done, I think the Switch will sell about 165 million units, and I think it'll beat the PlayStation 2. It'll definitely beat the DS because people are still buying the Switch. And anytime you see a Switch 2, they're going to put a Switch 1 on discount, and that'll further drive those sales there. So, do I think it's like yes, absolutely, it's one of the best consoles ever made, and this is sacrilegious to say, I would put it up there with the Super Nintendo.
100%.
Yeah, maybe not as far as like a generational leap from game to game, but the impact that it's had. I mean, you look at the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo sold only. This is crazy to think about. Between
like
the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo only sold 49 million.
40.
Units.
Wow.
Only, and we're talking about by the time this is done, the Switch will have sold 4 times the amount.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Almost.
Because that's the thing. Like the Switch is not my personal favorite console, but I would just from a historical standpoint in gaming, I would have to say it's probably arguably the best. And when you look at any console and look at every single year, and you can look at Switch and go, wow, like there was a top contender of Game of the Year. There, like every single year. Try and do that with any other system, even from Super Nintendo or the original Nintendo or Genesis. And there are some bad years there. And how long it's been out as well. So, I mean, like that's what, 7 or 8 years now of incredible games. It's one of the most impressive systems. And I do agree with you. I think it's going to be the #1 system of all time. And I don't think it'll ever be beat for a very long time.
We talked. I bring up this list all the time. It's the best list of best-selling Nintendo Switch games, and look at how far you have to go down before you get to a third-party game. Okay, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers, Zelda, Odyssey, Pokemon, Zelda, Mario. So the all top 10 games, Nintendo IP, Switch Sports, Mario Wonder, Ring Fit, Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion, Splatoon 2, all Mario. Once again,
Good for them.
Hey, it doesn't matter if they bring Halo Master Chief Collection. It doesn't. What matters is that Nintendo makes Nintendo games. Nintendo doesn't make video games. They make Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Right. 23, 24. Monster Hunter Rise by Capcom. is the closest. It's number 24 all time, sold 8 million copies on the Switch. Monster Hunter and Stardew Valley are 2 games in the top 25, and they're number 24 and 25. And then guess what? It continues.
Goes right back. Yeah, go right back to Nintendo.
Right. You know, and that's just the way it goes. And these games, that's super. I mean, if I sold 8 million copies of a game, fucking A, that's amazing. But it pales in comparison to the total units, total games sold here in comparison. And I've said this before. I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe may be the best pure video game of all time. Just from a strictly video game fun perspective, sales perspective, updating perspective, they nurtured that game when it was initially released. It was released in 2017, but even then it was released before on Mario Kart 8. Yeah. So Mario Kart 8 has been around for a decade, and that game has been nurtured for the better part of a year of a decade. And I don't know, man. It's fun every time you play it, you know, every single time. So
it's perfect. Like, even for people who don't play games, it's accessible for them. It's an easy concept. It's fun to look at, the visuals and everything. It's definitely one of the, as you said, one of the best strictly video games, pure video games of all time.
Well, we'll get more information about the Switch 2 tomorrow. Once again, come join me tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Pacific. They're so smart, by the way, about how they bring this out, because they release it super early in the morning. They know people are going to be talking about it all freaking day, and they're going to own the news cycle all day. And of course, if you don't want to wake up early in the morning, that's cool. We will be doing it. We'll be doing a full recap of everything that's announced on the show tomorrow. So be ready for that. Keyrock says it will never happen, but a new F-Zero would get me to pre-order a Switch 2 on the spot.
Amazing. That would be.
Mercenary says normally Zelda is the cross-gen for systems. That'll be interesting to see, because between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, just to kind of have it, you mentioned the side-by-side comparison, that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, unfortunately, Metroid is not a big seller, and I never understood why, but it doesn't do that great, especially, oddly enough, in Japan, it doesn't do well there.
No, it's a very niche thing. It's
so weird to me.
Yeah, Metroid Dread, just for reference, as what do you think? How many titles do you think Metroid Dread has sold? How many games?
I'm just because I know it doesn't do that well. I don't know, 2.5.
Yeah, it sold just over 3 million units.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And Metroid Prime Remastered sold just over 1 million.
And so, that's a brilliant remaster. Yeah. That game almost looks like you're playing a 4K game on a 1080 console. It's amazing.
Yeah. Crazy. Kataka came in and says, I'm just hoping they figured out the Joy-Con drift problem on the Switch 2.
Probably not.
Supergirl's Midlife Crisis says the future is Switch plus Steam Deck. If I had my druthers, I'd see the two merge and just dominate. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I don't see a merger between Nintendo and Steam anytime. Mercenary says, I just realized the Switch is like the Game & Watch. Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about this a lot. When you look at post GameCube, you can see exactly what Nintendo was doing over the last several iterations of the console. Between the Wii, they added motion controls. The Wii U, they added dual screens, right? And then the Switch, they combined the two, and it was an evolution over time. And it goes back to, I think that Nintendo thinks they perfected the video game console at this point, which is why they, for the first time in their history, they're adding a numeral to the name of the console. So Ruddy says, thoughts on Mark Wahlberg arrest last night. Mark, I didn't see this. What happened to Mark?
Mark got arrested?
I think that may be an April Fool's joke.
Let me look.
Yeah, check it out.
A little digging to see how much coke he was doing. It says W Blabs on Speaking Her Mind. Grummz should be questioned on the whereabouts of his game. Much love to side scrollers. Thanks, Upus.
I don't see anything.
Okay. Kataka
Mark Wahlberg.
Kataka says, would love to see Donkey Kong 64 on Nintendo Switch online also. The collectathon that is. Modest says, hey, bada bing, what's the haps, crew? Well, why didn't they name the Switch 2 the Super Switch? Lost opportunity to hook the old 30-something with nostalgia. Arrivederci, mi amici, biscoli.
Spaghetti.
I agree, though. I would have loved it to be called the Super Switch or something like that. Like, I understand I went with Switch 2, I get it, but it would have been chef's kiss, I think.
They're terrified of the Wii U problem.
Yeah,
They're so scared of that.
Never again.
Yeah.
Demi came in and says, good to see you, Demi. Says, not sure if I missed it or I'm in early. I think the Grummz hysteria is wild. Dude definitely needs to finish his vertical slice, but his haters are cuckoo. Thank you, Demi. Appreciate that. And Mercenary says, the Switch is a throwback to the 80s toy. Or those 80 toys were futuristic to 2025. Just throwing it out there. You know, who knows? Maybe they were revolutionary. All right, Blabs, you had this 26-second clip here. It says, first look at RuneScape's new game, Dragonwild.
Yeah, I actually thought this was something fun, and it looks.
Did Blabs freeze, or does that me?
No, she froze.
There it is. Hey, internet. Hold on. Let me give you a nice clean one real fast. Let me remove that top header. Go crazy, internet. Go crazy. There you go. We have a new one to match. There it is. We can do all sorts of things here. Triggered. There we go. Nice. Blabs, we can just wrap it up, please. Thank you. All right. 240p Blabs is coming. There you go.
Banger commentary, Blabs. Fantastic.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll hold off on looking at this game. So let's go and move on. You know, speaking of Metroid, I did want to show this off. Blabs, get the hell out of here. Oh, Busche. Hey, did you see? Oh, okay. Blabs is left. There you go. Good. I saw this and I thought, wow, this is spectacular. I think cosplay is really cool.
Oh,
I'm very impressed by people who spent all their time, effort, resources into creating this. I saw this and I thought, got to show that. This is an amazing cosplay of Samus Aran from Metroid here. Check this out. Look at how cool this looks.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that spectacular? Wow.
Blabs is saying, by the way, that she lost internet, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find it. It's good.
No, and that's maybe the best. Like, that to me proves you can make a movie and not have it be CG, because that is identical. The only thing that I'm always fascinated by all cosplayers is they do an incredible job, and then they don't make the environment fit. Like, this person's clearly like in a trailer and there's shit on the floor. Like, it just kills the vibe of Samus. But I mean, that is incredible.
Well, I think yes, yeah. Even if they just shot it in front of a green screen.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool. I bet the internet can take that and turn it into something.
Oh, sure.
Someone can take that and remove the background. You know, the only thing about this is the idea of you have Samus Aran holding a phone.
Yeah.
Like that.
Taking a selfie.
Yeah. All right. Let me text Blabs and let her know to come back whenever she's ready. Come back when internet is back, or join with your phone. So.
Yeah, I would go with your phone, Blabs, if you can hear us.
I'll just text that, because if I give her a choice, I don't think she'll come back.
Well, this is her April Fool's, and she's going to fucking see Snow White or something right now.
Yeah, maybe she's off to go see it. Yeah, that is spectacular stuff, and I wanted to share that right there. That's really, really good stuff. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's move on to Blabs. Yes, she's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it's just like, oh, you have this trail. I'm like, yeah, look how great it is, and then everything just died, and I'm back now.
Blabs, did you see this cosplay while we were talking about it?
No, I saw nothing. I was trying to figure out what the hell happened to my Wi-Fi.
Look at how amazing that looks.
Yeah, that is wild.
That is wild, right?
Some
I
of
don't
these
think I've
people
ever
have
seen
real
a better one.
talent.
What's that, Blabs?
I said some of these people have like real talent. It's insane how they do it so well. Like even like the Halo outfits that they go around, and you gotta give them major props, because like when they go to these conventions, they are dying internally. It's so hot in there.
I've got to imagine there's probably scouts who hire these people for film work and stuff like that, because like that is absolutely incredible, that work.
And it's a valuable skill. You know,
Oh,
it's
really valuable skill.
Yeah, it's valuable for sure. Well, maybe Blabs, if you were to cosplay as somebody, I know you like to go outside and you like to skip in the snow and all that stuff. Which
It's true, I do.
if you were to cosplay at a convention, what would you cosplay as?
Well, I'm actually thinking about already a costume.
Harry Potter.
But no, actually, it's to do with an anime, but I won't be saying anything else. It's gonna be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Blabs.
But like another idea would be probably like Mao from Apothecary Diaries. Yeah, none of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's okay.
Not a fucking clue.
You
Not
sound
one
like a
clue.
cat. I don't know.
No. I mean that it is actually like that means cat, but yeah, no.
Okay.
Sure does.
But it's a girl.
So this is let's go back to this footage here that you were talking about, Blabs. What's going on with this? What is this game?
Okay, so this is was it Wild Dragons or something like that? I forget the name of it. Yeah, Dragonwilds. And it looks like fun. It just looks like stupid fun. And I'm like, yo, I'd be interested in this. You got some medieval times, you're like casting spells, you're killing stuff. I'm fine with this. So it kind of looks a little bit indie, so I thought maybe we just give it a share. I don't know. Any thoughts
So
on
there's
that?
like elements of Fortnite meets medieval fantasy.
Don't
Is that
say
kind of
that.
it?
Don't insult the game.
Well,
with
they were just
elements of
building
Fortnite.
stuff.
That's literally. How can you not say there's elements of Fortnite in it?
I mean, listen, Fortnite wasn't the first one to build stuff.
No, but Blabs, it's the biggest game in the world.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah.
This
So
is
I
very
just think
clearly
it looks like
Fortnite
fun.
inspired.
It just looks like fun. Okay. I don't know. I guess I'm alone here.
No, I mean it looks fine. It looks like a fun game. I'm sure people really enjoy it if you're into that type of thing.
I've already wishlisted it. I've also wishlisted that
You're
Power
into
World.
crap.
I've also shut up, Craig. I've also wishlisted that Power World simulator game from yesterday. I totally want to try it on stream and see how wild it is.
Oh, you're talking about maybe that was an April Fool's joke.
No, because it exists on Steam. Like I've wishlisted
Yeah.
it. They wouldn't
Yeah.
go that far. That's money right there.
Maybe they would. I don't know. You know,
Nah.
maybe they would.
I think it's real because they didn't put it on April Fool's. They put it the day before.
Well, didn't stop opera.
That's true, but I don't know. I feel like Pocket Pair, is that their developer? They have more common sense over in Japan. So
Is it Opera owned by China? And if so, is that a different
no,
time
they're
zone?
Polish.
Okay, because I was wondering if maybe there's a different time zone, and so technically it's April Fool's there or something. I don't know.
Don't know
I
the
like
rules.
I like American Legends comment. Agreed with Blabs. It doesn't matter if Fortnite is popular or has building in it because Fortnite sucks.
I like
That's
American,
right.
I like American Legends comment because I agree with it.
I like what he says. Fuck the Fortnite.
You have echoed my sentiments exactly. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Commodore fan says Mark Wahlberg was arrested in 1988 for assaulting two Vietnamese men, which included knocking one unconscious with a wooden stick while using racial slurs.
Yeah.
He was convicted and served 45 days in prison for the crime.
Uh-huh.
Was that during a film shoot? I remember there being something where it was during a film shoot and he kicked the crap out of someone. I don't know if that's the same story.
It could be a different one. He was a sketchy dude a couple
Oh,
decades
yeah.
ago. Now he seems to have fixed himself up, but yeah.
This is Marky
Sketch.
Mark. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch,
But
man.
he hasn't been arrested since, I don't think, or at least not in a couple of years. So shout out.
He straightened himself out a little bit, hopefully.
Yeah.
Good.
Hopefully.
Someone who has not straightened themselves out and in fact just jumped straight off the fucking deep end, apparently, is Jack Black, who we all thought was super fun for a long time. You know,
Yeah.
Skibbity and doo, and here I am. I'm a wiki and I do this with my fingers, and here I am, and I sing funny songs.
I think it's the beard. It makes him look really deranged.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. And to be
You
clear, I
solved it.
think Jack Black does have a lot of talent. I think
Oh, yeah.
School of Rock is a really great
He
film.
can sing. He can act. Good for him.
It's great. Now, you know, he's definitely a part of the system, you know, for being as like F the man as he is. He's very much part of the man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now he is in Minecraft. We know this. And his thoughts on Minecraft is just really, really important. He says, Jack Black says Minecraft movie is what the world needs right now. There's so much violence and war and hatred. And that's what I love about this movie. There's a lot of love in it. And there's a lot of creativity. There's some anger and violence too. But in the end, it's about friendship and working together to make the world a better place.
What a load of shit. What was his band member saying a couple of months ago?
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
didn't say anything about that.
His Tenacious, actually pull it up really quick. See if you can find
it. Yeah.
Tenacious D member Kyle Gass. In totally unrelated news, by the way, not related to Minecraft being released at all. The social embargo's up, and a Minecraft movie is easily the worst movie I've seen in years. Not one iota of it is entertaining, aside from Jennifer Coolidge, whose back must be breaking from having to hold up to this mess. Appalling storyline and script, if you can call it that, if you can call them that. So just in totally not related news at all. Did you find the Kyle Gass story?
I'm trying to find the exact quote. Like I found what Jack Black said in response, but I want to make sure that I find like this might be it. He says, "Don't miss Trump next time." That's in regards to the attempt assassination. That was what it was. So
Yes.
that's what Kyle Gass, who was Tenacious D bandmate, and then Jack Black's like, "We need to take a break. Everybody needs a break sometime." Shout out, idiots.
Yeah. Well,
It's amazing that these celebs just can't learn to just shut up and dance when we ask you to dance. Like, just be pretty, dance when we want you to dance, make us laugh. The end. We don't want your narcissism. We don't want to hear from you. Listen, did any of you guys remember the actors club in high school? Like any of the thespians there? Were any of them? Did you ever look at them as like bright and intelligent? They were potheads. They had nothing to contribute. They were narcissists.
You mean like the drama kids?
Yeah, the drama club. Did any
Some
of them
were like really
smart?
book smart. They
Were
were
they?
book smart, but yeah, like they would get A's and shit, but that didn't mean like they had critical thinking or anything. So
Mine were retarded. They were like Cool Spot, definitely mentally retarded. They were idiots, and to
Very
me, that's
emotional.
exactly what Hollywood is. It's just people don't know how to stop talking. They don't know how to do it.
my favorite was this girl who was a year above me, and she thought she was like the hottest shit in the world. Meanwhile, she had like a muffin top going, but she would wear crop tops all the time, and she'd be like, "I'm so fabulous, I'm so pretty," and I'm like, "Oh, my eyes!" Yeah, that burned me, that one, my eyeballs. So yeah. Cover up if you have a muffin top. Thank you very much.
Oh. By the way, I just posted the premiere to Blabs Versus. The link is in the pinned comment in the chat. So,
Nice.
so if you want to, like, once again, you don't even need to go anywhere because we're gonna raid that once it's done. So just a heads up on that. You'll be automatically redirected to Blabs Versus when it premieres. Scheduled to go live at 2, but we will set it to go live as soon as the show is done. So once again, you don't need to go anywhere. New show debuting today. The title, Gen Z tries OG Super Mario Brothers for the first time. So that's pretty much going to be the titling format for it, unless it just fails miserably, and then we'll change up the title. So, but I think that's the most the best way to let people know what's going on. All right. So the Minecraft movie sucks. We know that. We're aware of it, and all that. And at least
Kind of disappointed though. It could have been something interesting, a Minecraft movie, but what else is new with Warner Brothers?
I did see a post about that where originally it was supposed to be like a darker movie and animated and really cool, but they went back
Warner
and
Brothers.
they Warner Brothers.
Listen,
Exactly.
if it's not Disney being a fuckwit, it's Warner Brothers. Like at this point, they're competing for who's the stupider one. Like it's amazing. You have all this potential and all this talent in your little fingers, and you're just like, I'm gonna throw it up over there. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not angry about it or anything. It's totally fine.
Throw it up, gang, tubs out, right?
That's right.
All right. I'll tell you what, Blabs, let's get to a couple super chats real quick. Then I want to get into this Karl Jobst, Billy Mitchell thing.
I'm muted. All right. Spoon, for one, says apparently Ubisoft has come up with a new handheld. It's called Dildo because they want their customers to go fuck themselves. Way to go, Spoon. Brian says regular show is Karl Jobst's father. Why be the goat? I don't know what I just read, but thank you. Mercy says insert dial tone on Blabs, please. Did you get a screen grab of me frozen? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I let the internet go crazy with that.
Oh no, here I was talking about Dragonwilds. Mercenary says Samus is a bounty hunter. She obviously after sci-fi trailer trash and is leaving a message for the bounty. Maria says Blabs got that top tier Guam internet. Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. It just was like, nah, unplug. Emperor Creighton says, all I have to say about Billy Mitchell news is if Karl Jobst was willing to lie about someone's tragic self-ending, what else did he lie about? Clyde became a Plus member. Thank you very much. Orthodox Monk says it's a RuneScape co-op survival game. Jagex brought in other developers to develop this game, so it has a separate team for their 2 MMOs. Classic RuneScape character Wise Old Man makes an appearance. Yeah, man, I'm kind of down for it, especially co-op. I think it'd be really fun with friends. Robot Dude says, hate to burst your bubble. Powell did a visual novel joke last year too. Oh no, I'm so sad now. I want to go and make fun of the furries. Damn it. Anyway, Opera GX is China's own since 2016. Asia's almost a day ahead. Other Asian games had theirs yesterday too. I'm sad now. Anyway, The Grateful Gamer says, I just got fired. Yeah, that just happened. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yep. Okay. Oh, let me finish my thought. I just got fired. Up to watch side scrollers. Let's go, Montez. Okay, I don't know if he's joking or not. I hope he can get fired.
It's 1000% April Fools.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Commodore Fan says Opera GX, a gaming-focused web browser, is owned by Kunlun Tech Corporation Limited, a Chinese public company, with its CEO Zhao Suhu being a controlling shareholder. That's from Google AI. Thank you, Commodore Fan. Appreciate that. We are 9 of 20 into our Montez goal today. Let's see if we can hit that, which is great. I would love to do that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about this Karl Jobst, Billy Mitchell thing. And I realize this is a fairly niche thing to talk about. This is within the internet, within a gaming community thing. And to be clear, you guys have not followed this at all, right?
No, like I said, I thought he was Billy Crystal for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I know who Billy Mitchell is, right? So I definitely know who he is. I know all about his, old days with Pac-Man and the scoring stuff. But this new topic, I'm less aware of.
Okay. So I think it's important to kind of give you a little bit of background here. Karl Jobst is a YouTuber who has over 1 million subscribers. He's done very well for himself online, 1.1 million subscribers. And when you look at his channel, it has been built pretty much entirely around, well, initially it was speed running, and then he started calling out cheaters, right? And when I just did a quick search on his channel, and the number, I just searched Billy Mitchell, okay? Now, this includes titles and metadata and things like that. So when you go in and you look at his channel, you can see these are all videos about Billy Mitchell, right? And this feud that he has. Now, the feud, you can see the titling here. I just exposed Billy Mitchell's dumbest lie ever. Billy can't stop lying. Billy Mitchell accuses me of fraud during insane rant. So it's all like Billy Mitchell, right? And a lot of it's all about scamming and speed running and stuff. And I've very much enjoyed Karl's content, right? He does a pretty good job of laying things out. But a lot of that's called into question now. Now, he was sued by Billy Mitchell. And Billy Mitchell, once again, for those who don't know, this is the guy in the American Tie who is the video game player of the century. This is the Pac-Man guy. He has a hot sauce company. He was a big part of Twin Galaxies when Twin Galaxies was super relevant. He's sued Twin Galaxies, and he's been accused of cheating by many, many people. Whether he got the high score in Pac-Man or not Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. So that's
King of Kong. It was a great documentary for people to, if you're interested, go check that out. You'll kind of get a good idea of who he is.
Right. Okay, so there's kind of a little background here. Now, I went and actually, as far as this lawsuit goes, I wanted to show you how Karl Jobst has framed this, or Jobst has framed this to his audience, okay? This is the final video that I could find on his channel that spoke about this lawsuit. The title is, I'm finally going to trial against Billy Mitchell. Okay, so this is a long time coming, Blabs. I want you to pay attention for this, okay? So here we go. Mm-hmm. And people say, like, Damage says he did cheat. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care if he cheated or not, right? That's irrelevant to this conversation. Like, it truly is 100% irrelevant to this conversation. And we're going to lay that out here in just a second. With that said, take a look at how this video is framed. Okay, once again, I'm finally going to trial against Billy Mitchell.
Of Donkey Kong has exploded with controversy over a high score, making it all the way to a Queensland courtroom. An American video game champion is suing a Brisbane YouTuber over cheating claims.
Hello, you absolute legends. As many of you know, back in 2021, Con Artist of the Century Billy Mitchell sued me for defamation, claiming damages of almost $500,000. For almost 3 years, this ridiculous lawsuit has dragged on, and for the past year, I've been desperately trying to get a trial date as soon as possible. The sooner we can go to trial, the sooner this will all be over and we can all move on. But every step of the way, Billy has been doing everything in his power to delay trial as much as possible. You would think it would be the opposite way. Billy is the plaintiff. He's the one that's supposed to be desperate for the court to step in and give him a resolution. But no, he's the one always running away. In fact, he got so bad that even Australian news outlets were reporting on the fact that Billy was saying he couldn't attend trial when we were asking him to. However, thankfully, a trial date has recently been set by the judge. As it stands, Billy and I will be going to trial starting September 16, and the trial is scheduled for 6 days. This is only 4 months away, and personally, I cannot wait. This has already gone on far too long, and is a huge waste of everyone's time and money. But it does look like we will get a resolution pretty soon, which is great news. Now, when I announced this on Twitter, a lot of people had questions. Is it possible that me and Billy will settle before trial? Billy settled with Twin Galaxies earlier this year, and everyone hated that. Is it possible I might do the same? Everyone wants to see Billy lose, but is he going to just wriggle his way out once again? What will happen if Billy loses? Will there be any repercussions? What happens if he wins? In this video, I will answer these questions. Plus, we will take a quick look at a few of the things we will be arguing about in court. And some of the things Billy is trying to claim are insane. For example, and I swear to God this is real, Billy is trying to claim that he was never banned from Twin Galaxies for cheating. Yes, the guy who was banned from Twin Galaxies for cheating and sued Twin Galaxies for $10 million because they banned him for cheating is claiming in his lawsuit against me that he was never banned from Twin Galaxies for cheating. The lies never stop, and this is why trial is going to be so exciting. All of this will go before the judge, and it will be epic. Or, as I asked before, will Billy be able to weasel his way out? Let's find out. I really hope you enjoy.
You're muted.
Okay, so sorry, I was thinking to myself. There's the intro to his video. Okay, at this point, how do you feel that's framed? What is he being sued for, Blabs? As somebody who knows nothing about this,
He's suing about the cheating,
okay,
quote unquote.
That's the way it was presented to you.
That's how I'm understanding it.
Okay,
Yeah, he said it over and over again, pretty much. So yeah,
over and over again. Okay. Let's go to 8 minutes into this video now, where he actually talks about this. Once again, this is over halfway through the video that he actually gets to the point where he's going to be talking about what this lawsuit is about. Okay, I'm going to speed this up to about 1.25 speed because he does sound like he's AI generated.
Yeah. A side note, he's like a very discount Keanu Reeves with that hair. I'm just saying.
Oh, are you talking about Billy Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what he's known for. He's known for the American tie and his mane, right? So, okay, so here we are. We're 8 minutes in, and your assumption as somebody who knows nothing about this is that he is being sued about cheating. So let's take a listen to this.
Be arguing at trial. Obviously, I'm not going to cover everything here. And don't worry, I'm not going to spill any secrets or give away any strategies. Everything I mention here will be public information and already known to both parties. There are multiple ways to defend a defamation claim in Australia that go beyond just proving what you said was true or that it wasn't defamatory. One of them is to say that Billy didn't have a good reputation to begin with, so it's not possible that it caused him any damage. Before I published the video in question, it was already well established that Billy was a cheater. He had already been sued for fraud by Twin Galaxies, and I had already covered all of this in previous videos. Billy himself has already proven that his reputation was destroyed long before I ever talked about him, and he proved this by suing Twin Galaxies for $11 million in 2 states. He sued Apollo Legend for $1 million, and he sued Jeremy Young, Jeff Harris, and the Donkey Kong Forum for $3 million.
Apollo Legend at this time is a YouTuber. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay.
In all of those lawsuits, he claims that his reputation was destroyed by their statements. He can't have his cake and eat it too. He can't say that Twin Galaxies destroyed his career in his lawsuit in America and then come over to Australia and say that his reputation was amazing and I destroyed it once again. That doesn't make any sense, but that's exactly what Billy is doing. If I can establish that Billy had a bad reputation to begin with, it doesn't matter if I can or can't prove any of my claims against him, because you can't damage what is already completely destroyed. But in saying that, there is a lot I can prove, and I will attempt to do so at trial. I will prove that Billy was publicly exposed for cheating and that he was banned by Twin Galaxies because of his cheating. Everyone will hear this claim and think there is no possible way Billy would try to deny this, because it's an obvious fact. Well, believe it or not, he is denying this. Billy is claiming that he was never publicly exposed for cheating and that he wasn't banned by Twin Galaxies. What's hilarious about this is that Billy argues in his own court documents from his American lawsuits that Twin Galaxies banned him for cheating and it caused him to get roasted publicly. I mean, it's literally the reason for his lawsuits against them. So he argues one thing in America and then argues the complete opposite in Australia. I don't know why he thinks this is a good idea, because I'm just going to use his own filings to show that he is a deceptive liar who's trying to play both sides. I'm also going to ask...
Okay, so Blabs, once again, at this point, what is this lawsuit about?
Defamation.
Defamation? About what?
About ruined reputation or not.
Right. About what? How do they ruin his reputation?
Well, that's what I'm confused about.
It still sounds very much like cheating. That
Right.
seems to be the narrative.
Okay, so now we're 10 minutes into this video. Let's go see this next thing here.
Argued that he expressed joy at the thought who's trying to play both sides. I'm also going to argue that he expressed joy at the thought of the YouTuber Apollo Legend's death. This is obviously a terrible thing. And not only did he imply he was going to smile and giggle if Apollo Legend died, but he also said that he hoped it was true. This was in 2018, which was 2 years before Apollo Legend actually died. At this time, Billy had only heard that he had died from his wife, and he was gleefully texting about it to his friends. Billy's defense to this is that Apollo Legend didn't die until 2020, so Billy only thought Apollo Legend had died, which makes his text okay. Yes, this really is Billy's defense. I'm also going to show that Billy abuses the legal system to try and silence people and force them to recognize his scores. For example, when he threatened Guinness World Records with a lawsuit if they didn't reinstate his scores, and they ended up folding. You may be asking why any of this is relevant, and it's because it all damages his reputation. It doesn't matter if he can show that I was incorrect on one thing. Even if he were to prove that I was wrong about a specific claim, there are many other claims that were true and also damaged his reputation. So as a whole, any incorrect claim I may have made didn't cause any extra damage. There are multiple barriers that Billy has to get through in order to be successful. He has to show that something that I said wasn't true and that it was defamatory. He then needs to prove that his reputation was damaged by that specific claim and has to prove those damages. From my side, I'm going to argue that what I said wasn't defamatory, that Billy's reputation was already terrible, and that I've said so many damaging things about him that were true and that I can prove that even if he did show that one thing I said was wrong, it didn't make a difference.
Okay, so there you go. His argument was Billy Mitchell's reputation was so far ruined, it doesn't matter what I said, right? And the cheating and all this. And he said Billy needs to prove all these things. And he the way it's presented is it sounds like a slam dunk. Billy's such an idiot. Why would he sue me? I can't wait to take him to court and and take him for everything he's got, because he's suing me because he's cheating, because he's upset because I said he was cheating, right? That's the way I think, just as a novice viewer, someone who's watched these but followed this kind of from afar, that's the way it's presented to me.
Yeah, it made Billy kind of just look like a lying idiot, a lying, cheating idiot that would be a quick court case.
Well, fast forward to this tweet from Karl Jobst last night. I lost. The judge found Billy to be a credible witness and believed his entire testimony. From that point on, unfortunately, there was really nothing we could that could have saved me. I will now obviously consider my options. I know many of you will be upset with this, and I'm sorry for that. Thank you again for the support, and I've received, and I will endeavor to work as hard as I can to repay you. So once again, he got community noted on his own post, and I kind of asked Grok to kind of put this together and summarize it as best as possible. And here's kind of another example of it. Let me refresh this really fast. But the premise is here. He lost his defamation lawsuit against Billy Mitchell. The court ordered him to pay 395,000 Australian dollars, including damages and legal fees, after the judge deemed Mitchell a credible witness and found Jobst's statements in his 2021 video recklessly false. In the case unrelated to Mitchell's alleged cheating videos, and this is the thing, the case unrelated to Mitchell's alleged cheating in video games has sparked debate in the gaming community, with Jobst considering an appeal and addressing misinformation about the lawsuit's focus and follow-ups. I don't think anybody watching that video or any of the videos about this case would have thought that this was actually about the defamation of
Apollo,
of Billy Mitchell saying he was happy about Apollo Legend, right? And leading to it. So this is Apollo Legend, a speedrunning commentator, had a history of exposing fake speed runs, and his mental health struggles were public before his death, which became a focal point in the legal battle between Jobst and Mitchell. Now, it says the lawsuit verdict found him liable, ordering to pay blah, 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 for damaging Mitchell's reputation, a detail Jobst allegedly omitted from his videos while focusing on the cheating narrative, which I don't know how anybody can look at this and say that's not accurate. But he made the claim that Mitchell contributed to the suicide of Apollo Legend, right? And that's what this whole case was about. And it was really kind of shocking to see. And you see Lonely Goomba says, I thought Jobst was getting sued for accusing Billy Mitchell of cheating.
Right.
Well, absolutely the angle he went with his videos. Now I'm finding out it's because he accused Billy of being responsible for the suicide of Apollo Legend. If that's true, I feel very misled. And he's not wrong. Many people felt this way. And so now we're getting to the point to where this is like calling into the question of this guy whose entire YouTube career has been built around more or less talking shit about Billy Mitchell. So it makes you question, like, what else has he not been fully transparent about? You know, I mean, I feel misled by the narrative that was spun here. And, you know, another example of this says, you know, he lost the defamation case, expressed his intention to consider his options. So a little bit more, Karl Jobst is a complete and total dipshit who basically lied about what the defamation case was about. Straight up didn't tell us he was being accused by Billy Mitchell for being the reason Apollo Legend killed himself, when we know in extreme detail why Apollo killed himself, right? And says, I'm a fan of Karl, but holy shit, he really misrepresented what the lawsuit was about the whole time. If you're only watching his coverage of the situation, you'd be left believing it was about Billy Mitchell cheating allegation. It wasn't. It was about Apollo Legend's suicide. So you can
from your because you've been following this the whole time, correct?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say following it in depthly. I would say I've been keeping an eye on it from afar, really. And by that I mean I've been watching what Karl has said about the lawsuit. Like that's pretty much right.
I was curious if you saw the timeline of as far as what this actually is about. If you know anything, like, did you see those tweet exchanges? Did you see? Because I'm curious what that actually looked like.
Well, no, I didn't see that.
Okay,
but here's actually the judge making the ruling yesterday, and you can say he mentions in here it has nothing to do with the alleged cheating that happened. So here's the judge here with the ruling.
Use a fraudulent video. To be clear, I was not required to decide, nor did I decide, whether Mr. Mitchell had in fact cheated in gaining any of his world record scores. Mr. Jobst did not attempt to prove that finding by Twin Galaxies was correct. Notwithstanding these findings, I have concluded that the defamatory imputations made by Mr. Jobst that are the subject of Mr. Mitchell's claim have caused substantial additional damage to Mr. Mitchell's reputation and have caused him considerable additional distress. Therefore, Mr. Jobst is liable to pay damages to Mr. Mitchell for those defamatory imputations.
I mean, he very, very much clearly says this has nothing to do with the game, with the cheating allegations, right? But there's a bigger issue here, right? Karl asked his audience for money for the defense.
Oh.
So people felt like he was being asked to defend, and this is a slam dunk case. Presented here, and he raised over $200,000 Australian dollars here from GoFundMe, right? And you can read here, the situation is crazy and has gotten much worse. Well, here I'll just kind of read this off, right? My name is Karl Jobst. I'm a YouTuber who often reports on video game cheaters. First sentence. Last year, Billy Mitchell, the star of King Kong and proven video game cheater, sued me for defamation, claiming damages of $450,000. In the past year alone, the lawsuit cost almost $200,000 to defend and will cost at least another $100,000 before it's over. The situation is already crazy, but since gotten much worse as Billy Mitchell has sent me another defamation lawsuit for $450,000. So that would mean I need to get to defend two lawsuits at the same time, both being extremely expensive. But then it gets even worse because Billy is threatening me with even more lawsuits. These lawsuits are unhinged and is highly likely Billy will ultimately lose. But until we go to trial, it requires a lot of money to deal with. I would appreciate any help that you're able to provide, as this affects not only me, but my family as well. Obviously, it's bad enough to attack me when I've done nothing wrong, but to injure them as well takes things to another level. Naturally, the more money we raise, the better my legal defense will be. That's just the way it works. If and when I defeat Mitchell in court, he will likely have to pay back a lot of the cost I incur. I will use that money to host a grand gaming tournament in his honor. I appreciate the support.
Wow. You almost could argue that some of these people could arguably sue for their money. I mean, like that's pretty bad.
It does seem fairly deceiving.
Yeah, a lot deceiving.
Yeah.
There's literally no mention of what actually took, of what the thing was about. He's sticking to the cheating thing. That's the shtick he's going to. Everyone who's followed his channel understands the shtick, so you assume that. Now, obviously, look, if you're going to send money, you should investigate a little bit. But absolutely, that does seem very deceiving to me.
Blabs, you're hearing all this for the first time. Your thoughts?
Pretty disgusting, honestly. And it just kind of shows how disingenuous YouTubers can really be, right? I don't know. Just a very sour taste. It's pretty gross all around.
Like I said, I feel duped, right? I didn't support him by any means, but I get why people are upset. The narrative that he spun around this was, I'm getting sued because I told him he was a cheater, right? And there's a minute-long snippet in all these videos about Apollo Legend, but that's what it was all about,
Yeah.
At no point on that GoFundMe does it say anything about Apollo Legend. At no point does it say anything about the suicide or anything like that, and the defamation of it. It's just, this is crazy, and video game cheater. So it's amazing to me to see, and the reason why I think this is important is people have these parasocial relationships. There's always this narrative that is spun, specifically in a situation like this, and the narrative was entirely false, proven in the court of law to be false, to the point to where now he has to pay what is $250,000 US in this situation, and that sucks. That sucks for the viewers. It sucks for the people who gave to him. And if you go back and you look at this GoFundMe, it is almost purposely vague, with kind of how it's presented.
Yeah.
This crazy loony bin, this crazy loony bin is suing me, and he's a cheater, and blah 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 blah, right? And he's actually says he very clearly stated it's a defamation case. Yes, but for what?
Right.
But for what? You can say it's a defamation case, but for what? Because as implied over and over and over again on his own channel, that he had talked about Billy Mitchell cheating many, many times in the GoFundMe. He says known video game cheater many, many times. the entire time it's there, you know? So it's just shady and sucky. And
Really shady.
You know, Billy Mitchell responded on X. It says, Billy Mitchell always has a plan.
He's hard to beat. He is hard to beat, right? He's like won almost everything, right? He's had a million cases thrown at him, and he typically wins, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a secret lawyer, right?
He might be.
Well, full disclosure,
He
Billy
just
Mitchell,
never passed the bar or whatever, but he knows.
Yeah.
yeah. It's okay. Here we go. This is funny. David says, as someone who watches Karl frequently, I never got the impression that the lawsuit was about anything other than what it actually was. I'm legit confused that people thought this was about cheating.
Okay.
Really? Like, I'm confused that you don't see it that way, given the things that we watch in the videos about it, you know? And like, I appreciate that, David, but I don't understand how you you must have taken the next step in looking at the coverage of this, right? Just on a surface level, it's presented so, I mean, that's the way I see it. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone on this either. Once again, going back to like Lonely Goomba, he says, I rewatched Karl's videos. Nah, he misled people. Watch this video. He shows legal documents and whatnot, never once mentioning Apollo, and only talks about cheating allegations, despite him knowing at this point in time the Apollo accusation exists.
Well, it was literally mentioned by the judge. He's actually saying this is not about cheating. Obviously, that was it seemed to be the narrative.
Yeah,
right? Like that. Right. So,
and the judge clearly knew, right? For him to address it in his closing decision,
right.
Like he knew that people would say, well, you know, right? Ian says to cite Lonely Goomba. No, I'm just talking about somebody on Twitter. All right. It doesn't matter if it's Lonely Goomba or Goomba Lonely or Joe Schmo. Right. It says you can't walk away from the video not thinking it's about it's about cheating accusations.
That's what it seems.
Yeah. I mean, David, with all due respect, I don't see it. I don't. Maybe I'm missing something. So, but the whole thing it does leave like a sour, gross taste in my mouth, just from the outside, you know. And once again, when you title things like this, you know, the end is near, cheater Billy Mitchell just keeps losing. Naturally, I think the assumption is that people will think that it's based around cheating. Like that's his entire channel. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Maybe I am.
From what I'm seeing, no.
Watched, yeah, like from everything we've watched, perhaps we've missed something. It's entirely possible.
Context.
Yeah.
And to be clear, like it doesn't matter. To back up, it doesn't matter if you think Billy Mitchell or Karl are scumbags, right? It doesn't matter. They probably both are. I don't know. I've never met them before. Billy Mitchell may be a fucking cheater. I don't know. I mean, I've seen the videos of Karl talking about it, right? But it doesn't matter in this situation. It has zero bearing, as the judge said. So I'm fascinated by this. I'm very intrigued to see. So Karl posted a video, which was it was actually a video unrelated to this, and he actually ended up pulling the video because it was like a sponsored deal, and he realized it was kind of in poor taste to post that video like immediately after because people are interested in what he had to say about this.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, but he says it's proven Billy is a cheater, not speculation. Awesome, like fucking A, great, has no bearing.
Yeah, unrelated.
Yeah, unrelated, exactly. So it's just a fascinating story. And when people talk about like internet beefs, that's the thing. This goes past internet beef. When there's a lawsuit in play, it's no longer internet beef. This is IRL situation. Yeah. So anyways, we'll kind of see what happens, how Billy Mitchell responds, how Karl responds. I'm fascinated to see the response to that. So
I'd be curious. I would love to see someone. I'm guaranteeing it's going to be out there at some point soon. I would love to see so now a video like actually puts everything into context and show like what actually the timeline of what happened, when Billy apparently said this thing or not, when Karl started making videos about that subject. I'd love to see now what the actual thing that happened, not that he's apparently a cheater and that's what we're leaning in on.
Right. Man. Anyways, like I said, I'm really fascinated by the whole thing. And
yeah, that got interesting because that's what I was like. Oh, it's another. When I was looking at it, just today's subject, like, oh, it's another Billy is cheating at something. All right, but that just got very interesting. That spins everything in a very different light.
Stone Cold Sneed Austin came in and says Karl retracted and apologized for the Apollo statements, and put the apology at the end of a 30-minute video that had nothing to do with Billy. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's oh, and by the way, at the end, right? Miku says Billy sued Cartoon Network, and guess where Cartoon Network is today? Billy always wins.
Yeah, the guy is always wins.
Zealous says it looks like Gerard found his ticket back. Yeah, well, and that's the thing is you see things like this, and you is this a 1-to-1 comparison with Gerard? I don't know. That whole controversy with him, and I don't think it is. I don't think it's a 1-to-1 comparison, but I think people are right to be skeptic of situations like this. Patrick came and says first first super chat. Still look from VTubers recommend Arundel. Yeah, check out Arundel, Blabs. Thank you very much for your first super chat, Patrick. Appreciate that greatly. Arundel.
Yep, got it.
Patrick Greg says, I did feel misled by Karl. I enjoy his videos, but also don't like Billy either. Also, speaking of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, underrated game. Thanks, Patrick Greg. Question, chat. Do you guys, if you followed this, did you feel misled? If you did, just put yes in the chat. If you didn't, tell us why. Did you take the next step in the coverage of it? Because I think most people did not. So Ian says $500,000 Australian dollars, because that's 23 US bucks.
Yeah, it's not as bad. It's 200,000 or something.
If you were asking for money for something that happened to you, right? Let's say, God forbid, you got into an accident or something like that, and you got medical bills, and you got to pay for them, you would think that you would mention the reason why you need the money. And when you read that page, it mentions nowhere on the, I guess he did say the word defamation, but everything prior to it, it seems to be about cheating. So the whole, that alone is pretty misleading. It feels misleading, let's say.
Right. Definitely feels that way.
Yeah.
Denny, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Let's stink and go, Denny. Enjoy that wonderful support. It says Jobs always uses a narcissistic tactic. He takes a mistake someone has made and uses that to establish a pattern to demonize and exploit them for personal benefit. He did that to Gerard, accusing him of stealing when his biggest crime was negligence. That's interesting. The irony of all this, now that we're thinking about this with Gerard, is that Karl was one of the people who broke that story about Gerard. Him and whatever his name, Mudahar, right? Thank you so much, Danny. That's spectacular. But I don't know. There's a little bit of pot calling the kettle black here, just a little bit, So Keyrock says, did Adam authorize Samus to use that phone? Thank you, Keyrock. That's a nice deep cut. Hayes for 20 says for best bro and best guest Phoenix. Hey, let's go. By the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, Phoenix is the third member of our team. He works primarily behind the scenes. He's hanging out with us today. So thank you for that. And for those, this is Phoenix, Panda Sub 2000 right there. Dwight Power says in ancient European societies, actors were looked down on as one of the lower classes. So I think we should definitely start doing that.
Yeah, we need to go back to those times.
I feel like we need to quote Back to the Future. We need to go back.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Hey, Guy Ryan came in and says, Craig Blabs, I'm very stingent with who I decide to give support to online. Please don't turn out to be crazy, lying psychos. Hey, please, thank you. Love you. Hey, look.
I am a psycho, but I'm not a liar.
This is true. She'll lie directly to your face instead of behind your back.
I will not lie to your face. I am very blunt, as you are well aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'll tell you this is the beautiful thing is we actually do have like a checks and balance system here. And like, that's the fun thing is, I had people being like, Blabs is getting out of line on the show. And I was like, what are you talking about? That makes the show great, right? Like the idea that Blabs can call me on my shit. I can kick Call on her shit. And we just kick each other in the balls. That's kind of the idea.
There are people coming to you saying I'm getting out of line?
You have balls, Blabs? Nice.
Wow.
Hey, Blabs, you better step in line. All right, Blabs.
Yeah, whoever's telling you that's a wanker. Sorry.
Listen, Blaz, they don't understand the true dynamic of the show.
I guess so.
And the biggest thing is that anybody who says stuff like that, this is not an echo chamber. I've said this from the start, right? We talk about things. We actually encourage conversation. We want conversation. And if Blabs and I don't agree on everything, that's fucking awesome.
It's supposed to be that way.
It's better, yeah.
Yes. Look at this, man. We are flying with the pinks. Let's go. Ian came in and says, hey, more boobs today. More. Get all the boobs. Let's go. Ian came in. Ian Brune. In the AI ring, what's not talked about nearly enough is that what the artist insists is true is impossible. This isn't law or opinion or feels, but basic math and info theory. The models do not have enough data to be copying parts of images. Ian, thank you so much. The conversation about AI art continues on the show. It's been a long time since we've had three red supers come in.
You're welcome. It's all me.
Hey, let's give it up. For Phoenix.
Should I?
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Love that.
Yeah. Welcome.
GDI guy says, thank you, Stuttering Craig, Blabs, and Phoenix for doing great work. That is an internet oasis for diverse thought and opinions without much of the baggage. It's great to see unity over love of video games. Well, GDI, thank you very much. Love of games, entertainment, and just more importantly, sanity, which is wonderful. Mercenary says the King of Kong movie is biased and not trustworthy. Yeah, it's a movie. It's not biased, or it's unbiased, and or it is biased, just like every port. I think here's the thing: everybody here is biased. Everybody, right? I've said this all along. The sooner you can wrap your head around the idea that you're a hypocrite, I'm a hypocrite, Blabs is a hypocrite, Phoenix is a hypocrite. Everybody's a fucking hypocrite, right? Everybody is. The better you're going to be. I promise you that.
This reminds me of your conversation yesterday. Like, everyone's expendable. I'm sitting at work and I'm like, oh shit.
No, the reality is, and
I totally get it.
I know, but I think about me as well, right? I'm waiting for you and Blabs to have an uprising and vote me out, which will be great.
We have a board?
No.
Can we vote on
No. It's just this easy. It's only me now. He'll save me. Oh my God. There's no board. Oh God. Hey, Harriet Tubman came in, Blabs.
Hey. Harriet Tubman for 5. What you throwing up, Blabs? You better watch them hands, girl. Remember to press your hand to your heart before throwing your hand out. Gang, stubbed out.
Thanks, Harriet. Appreciate your support. By the way, we're at 16 supers into our 20. Let's see if we can get there today to have Montez do some sweet belly to back suplexes. This is going to help with Ian with another 50.
Yay, titties.
Freaking go.
Titties.
More boobs. Let's go. So I can't believe you exposed my I can't believe you exposed my DMs while being out of line. I am sorry, Ian.
Damn it, Ian. And happy birthday to Ian. It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, Ian, that's so good. I think Dan Vasque is hanging out in the background for a very wonderful message for you.
Poor Ian.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's art.
That was awful. I hate you now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. That's rough. No, really, here's Dan.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
So sweet. Thanks, Dan.
We need to get a better one of that one. That one's it's a bit borderline creepy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Marius says nobody puts Blabs in a corner.
That's right.
Thanks,
I'll
Marius.
claw my way out.
Bentley came in and says, hey, Phoenix, nice collection you got back there. I got an offer for you. How about I trade you my Spanish version of Concord for VIP straight up? You know you wanna. Hashtag Montez.
Let's do it.
Overmod with the 2 says Star Citizen just got completed and Dan Vasquez straight. Happy first, everyone. Thanks, Overmod. And Emperor Creatine says the question before the court was whether or not Billy caused someone's suicide. Whether or not he cheated at Donkey Kong is irrelevant. Thank you.
Right.
Yes. All right. Let's go to this last story here. Once again, coming up in just a few minutes after the show, you don't even need to go anywhere. The show will automatically redirect to Blabs Versus. Now, It says it's going to premiere at 2 o'clock Central Time. It's not. It's going to premiere pretty much right after the show is done. I'll go back and manually change that. So I encourage you guys to stay there. This is what it looks like, by the way. This is what the page looks like. So when you get pushed there, it's going to be here. It says it's going live in 74 minutes now. We're going to update that, so don't freak out. And we do have the live chat going, so you guys can continue on yelling at each other and yelling at Blabs. So right now, there's 11 people waiting. We have a ton of people watching right now. We need to get that link over to Rumble as well, Blabs. So let's get that over to Rumble, and everybody can watch the premiere of Blabs Versus. We need this to take off with your support. So head over there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button here as well, and help YouTube find it. And use the mighty algorithm. It's important you guys watch the entire time as well, the entire show. So it's only like 18 minutes long, so it'll be good. Okay, let's go to our final story here. This is interesting. And I feel like we talked about this briefly, but I think the person who broke this story was actually Smash JT. And this was like 6 weeks ago. Smash, I think, broke this story, but it's interesting to see this published 5 days ago by Game Rant, as Wizards of the Coast has hired the former Dragon Age, the Veilguard director, which is crazy. And like I said, I feel like we talked about this. This Corinne Busche character, the former Dragon Age director, joins Wizards of the Coast for a mysterious project at Skeleton Key. Busche's departure from BioWare was not due to Dragon Age the Veilguard's commercial performance. Let's make sure we know that. That was definitely tied to Dragon Age the Veilguard. And Skeleton Key may be working on a D&D-based RPG, but details are scarce here. So that's pretty much all you need to know. This is the director of one of the biggest bombs. I mean, look, to be clear, Dragon Age the Veilguard would have been the biggest bomb last year in video games, except for Concord, which was the biggest bomb in video game history, right? And to see, we talk about people like failing up. This happens all the freaking time in the video game industry, all the freaking time. Anytime you see a director of a game that failed so miserably, and like the cope thrown out here by Game Rant, it was Busche's departure for BioWare was not due to Dragon Age, the Veilguard's commercial performance. The game didn't work. People didn't like the game. All the ideology was thrown in there. So and we know Wizards of the Coast is going deep on this ideology as well. You know, removing orcs because they're racist or whatever. You know, it's silly. I'm always fascinated to see kind of how people fail up in this industry and how people who produce just such shit still find a way to make a living. Phoenix, your thoughts?
This is extremely upsetting to me, and it's why I've been forever promoting to everyone that we need to make new culture. I don't care. This isn't about politics. This is just about normal people need to raise kids that go into these industries and start putting out good ideas, because obviously this mind woke virus has infiltrated every space, and no matter where you go, it just seems like, as you just showed, like they're rising in the ranks and going to other places. Like it's infuriating at times, feels hopeless, but then you see really some great independent studios out there making great stuff, and like we need to really champion heavy those that are not following that narrative and really lift them up and vote out the other ones with our wallet, because I'm getting exhausted with all of this. Just keep seeing these properties constantly being burned to ash is infuriating for me.
Let's just kind of put it this way. Oh, go ahead, Blabs.
I was gonna say, Wizards of the Coast has been falling upward, like over a decade, honestly. So honest, and everything they do lately, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not surprised by their actions. So shout out to them. You are just losing more money by the day. It's fine.
Marius, thank you very much. Rip Baldur's Gate right there. By the way, we are 3 supers away from Montez. Let's just kind of, if I can do another analogy here, right? Let's just say you work at a fast food restaurant, right? And you are the kitchen manager of that fast food restaurant, and you make burgers, right? And your team and your job is to conceptualize and overview and be the leader of the construction of all the burgers that are coming out of that, right? And when those burgers are released, they are incredibly mid and they underperform from a sales perspective, you get fired. And that reputation follows you around. That doesn't happen at all in the video game space, ever. It's extremely weird how that how these people just bounce around. If you make shitty burgers, you're no longer a chef, right? You gotta rework things. And if you're overseeing, well, this person didn't have their hands in the lettuce. They didn't make the bun. Yes, but they were the director of the burger. They told people what they wanted in the burger, the sauce and the ketchup and the mustard and the whatever, all the toppings. And ultimately that burger sucked and people didn't want the burger. So you shouldn't be a kitchen manager anymore.
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah. In films, you don't blame the gaffer. It's totally the director's fault for putting that whole shit together. It's 100% their fault. And this is a very easy to pinpoint. When you look at what happened with Dragon Age there, it's very clear where that game failed. You could see it. And all that would fall under the director. The director, I'm imagining, probably could have cut these parts out, could have redirected it, could have done all, but nope, they leaned into it. So this is deeply troubling for me.
Well, this does tie into Wizards of the Coast, as they have made some changes. They faced criticism for making changes to the game that some perceive as woke. These changes include altering the racial and alignment attributes of certain creatures and introducing trigger warnings and safe space gestures in the game, allowing people to pause the game when they feel uncomfortable. So maybe we'll see that as well. They've also they've made some modifications. The term races has been changed to species in the latest player's handbook, and some character traits have been separated from biological identity. I'm sorry. The company has also removed certain cards from their Gatherer database that had offensive depictions or racist insinuations, and they have hired sensitivity readers to help with revisions and new product developments. So this move actually makes a lot of sense for Corinne Busche right over there. Oh my God. So there's that. Well, that is the entertainment space today, everybody.
And here's the thing. If anyone wants to make millions of dollars, it's very simple. Just don't do what everyone else is doing. Just don't do it. Put tits in your game if you want to, and you'll sell $1 bajillion. Just make something fun with no agenda, and you'll make millions of dollars. Just literally look at the landscape, do the opposite, and you'll be doing great.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're literally we're doing the opposite. That's pretty much been my entire career, right? So do the opposite of what's happening right here. All right, guys, we are going to head over to watch Blabs Versus. We're all going to be in the chat. We encourage you guys to join us. It is going to be premiering in 6 minutes as soon as this show is done. So we encourage you guys to keep the tab open. As soon as the stream is over, we're going to be moving over there, guys. Thank you so much for your support today. We fell 3 short of our Montez goal, but we had 3 big pink supers come in, and we appreciate those guys. Thank you very much. Spectacular. I think we actually had 4 come in, which was just outstanding. Yes, we're going to raid that, so you don't even need to go anywhere. You guys hang tight. If you don't head over there, that's fine. We're going to put a link to it in the chat. Once again, we encourage you guys. The whole thing is like 20 minutes. I just put a link to it as well. You guys have a great rest of your day. No post show today because we're getting geared up for Blabs Versus. And then on Thursday, we're back again with Nerd Duel. We got Nerd Duel premiering, which is going to be so much fun. So don't go anywhere. You guys watching on YouTube, stay there. The browser will literally refresh, and you're going to go to the premiere of Blabs Versus. With that said, have a great rest of your day. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Fatality.
All right.